Hi, welcome all. Today is World Sleep Day, as you all know, March 18th, 2022. And I'm so happy to interview experts who are in this field and helping people through different means to get their sleep. So one such expert we have today is Rajiv Ambat of NuvoVivo. I'd like to give a small intro on him. He has an amazing career shift where he has managed to almost become a doctor. He talks like a doctor, at least. I mean, I know him for the last 1.5 years, and the depth of knowledge that he has in the medical field and in the medical fitness field so that people can reverse their lifestyle diseases. That's amazing. So I'll just give you a quick roundup about him. He's a CEO and Chief Health Officer at NuvoVivo. You can see the board behind. It's a center for obesity, lifestyle disorders, and research. He's a certified nutrition expert affiliated with AIAARD, All India Association for Advanced Research in Obesity, under the Global Obesity Foundation. So he's also a diabetes educator and holds a certificate in human physiology from Harvard Medical School. So I won't go into his long bio. So I want him to speak to you rather than me talk about this, because you'll discover the depth. It's a short half an hour to 40-minute interview. And please keep your phone silent so that you can absorb what you're hearing. There are gems which are going to come out here. Welcome, Rajiv.
Thank you, Guy. Good morning, and wishing you an amazing, happy International Sleep Day and a happy Holi too.
Absolutely. We should have some tilaks and all that too.
Festival of colors,
Yeah, that would have been
great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, when I first heard the term lifestyle diseases reversal, and you're a coach at lifestyle diseases reversal. So what is this, and how did you become a coach like this?
Right. There are two questions. So what is lifestyle diseases reversal, and how did I become a coach? The first question. See, people often come to me saying that, oh, I'm diabetic. Let's take diabetes for an example. Diabetic, and I'm on so and so medications. Can you reverse it? Can I stop these medications? Now, that's a very tricky question. Now, according to me, reversal does not always mean that you completely stop your medication, stop everything, and then get back to doing what you were doing some 20, 30 years back and still expect your blood sugar levels to be normal. Might not happen. It also depends upon genetic parameters. It also depends upon how well is your body adapting to the lifestyle changes that you bring in and all that, right? But for sure, you can make improvements and reverse it to some reasonable extent. Will you be able to reverse it 25% and hence reduce medicines by 25%? Or are you lucky enough to reduce the medicine by maybe even 100% and stop medications altogether? That depends upon multiple parameters, including age. For example, younger a person is, better chance of him or her to actually stop these medications and reverse it almost 100%. It also depends upon genetic and hereditary parameters. If there are certain things which are genetically predisposed. Everybody in your family is diabetic and you're genetically predisposed. It's more difficult to reverse it, right? It also depends upon how much have you abused your body in the past. If you have abused your body left, right, center, you can't expect it to reverse and switch gears immediately and as much as we want to, right? So it's a parameter of multiple aspects. So lifestyle diseases reversal is possible. To what extent depends on all these aspects, So that's basically what is lifestyle disease. And what is lifestyle diseases? Diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, dyslipidemia, PCOS related issues, these kind of things, fatty liver. These are all related to lifestyle. But let me also tell you, there are certain aspects which also makes a person predisposed to these diseases, So that's the first question. How did I ended up becoming here? I'm a fitness enthusiast, like what you said, medical fitness. So fitness is all about looking good, looking sexy, building those muscles for a man, having that hourglass figure for a lady, right? Which is great. But an example, after 35 years of age, reduce carbohydrate, eat a lot of protein and fiber is a simple fitness approach towards managing diabetes, right? Might work for a 20 or an early 20 or a mid 20%. But after 35, the right way of doing it is to check urine albumin levels, check your renal function test and see if the creatinine levels are normal, and then decide how much protein to intake. Because chronic diabetes can lead to kidney damage or diabetic nephropathy. It can lead to nerve damage or neuropathy. So medical understanding makes a lot of impact after 35 years of age kind of people. So I started with fitness. Then I realized that there's this 35 plus age group people who needs a medical understanding towards managing their health and well-being and fitness. So that's how I ended up into doing what we are doing at NuvoVivo.
Okay, great. So in a nutshell, yes, it is possible to reverse. How much is dependent on many conditions. The younger, the easier it is to reverse. So this is in a nutshell. Second is there are multiple diseases. We'll come into that later. And third, you were a fitness enthusiast. So you looked at what medical conditions determine what type of fitness exercises you need to do. And I think nutrition also, right? I mean, you do nutrition and fitness, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Okay, and you look at, based on their medical conditions, you design a regimen which will work best for them and reverse their lifestyle disease. So
absolutely.
Super. So since it's World Sleep Day, okay, so I'm going to bring the topic back to sleep, because these lifestyle diseases, like you mentioned quite a few, you mentioned diabetes, you mentioned hypertension, autoimmune disorder, PCOD,
it has an impact. Yeah.
Obesity, fatty liver, all of that. So do you see a connection in your experience? Have you seen a connection between sleep and this? Does the lack of sleep affect this? Or because of this condition, do they have lack of sleep? What happens?
Oh, absolutely. There is. I mean, it's like day and night. The connection between sleep and these diseases are very out there. You know, when people we live in this WhatsApp universities and Facebook universities of the world, right? So everything about what needs to be done to improve immunity, to improve health, everything comes out in I call them bro science. Some of them are. Now, I wouldn't say all of them are wrong. Some of them actually do make sense. But according to me, according to NuvoVivo, becoming healthy and fit and looking good and improving health parameters require primarily three things. Okay, it's like studying for an exam. When you study for a university exam, you know there is a syllabus. Common sensically, you study that syllabus first, right? You know, 99% of the questions will come from the syllabus. Maybe 1% of the marks would come out of syllabus, right? So the 99% syllabus of becoming healthy and fit has 3 modules in it. Module 1, eat healthy. Okay, eat healthy. I don't mean eat less or stop carbohydrates or not have a life. No, that's not the definition of eat healthy. Eat healthy, balanced meal, balanced amount of nutrients, both protein, fat, carb, vitamins, minerals, everything put together. Also build a healthy relationship with food. That is eat healthy. Number 2, be physically active, do exercises, but be sensible about exercises. You know, post-COVID, don't start running all of a sudden, right? If there is a arthritic knee, don't do jumping jacks. If there is an inguinal hernia or if there is hemorrhoids or piles, don't go and lift heavy weights in a gym, right? So be sensible about exercises, but do exercises. And number 3, sleep. And these 3 are 3 things of a jigsaw puzzle. All these 3 has to come together. Only then it makes sense. You do 2 of this and skip the 3rd one, no point. So you do exercise well, you eat right, healthy eating and all that, but you don't sleep well, no point. So these 3 things has to come together. These 3 things together will take care of 99% of becoming healthy from a preventive aspect. And I'm also reminded when I'm talking about this of this person. You know, it's funny actually. I thought of this and I thought of googling up his name. I forgot his name yesterday to actually talk about him. This was one senior head or senior management of SAP. I think some 7, 8, or 9. No, in fact, quite some time back, around 2008, is around that time, I guess. Very, very health conscious, very, very fitness conscious, but because of lack of sleep, he had succumbed to a cardiac event. So sleep is extremely important. And to answer your question, direct correlation. Simple example: if you don't sleep well, check your blood sugar levels the very next day. You would see it is elevated, right? It's so direct out there in terms of a correlation. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so sugar levels, you said there's a direct correlation, and even I suppose hypertension. I mean, there's a cardiac event. So these are obesity. So if you could because there may be some of our viewers who are either combating obesity, or they may be combating an autoimmune disorder or PCOS. So specifically, what signs should they look for each of these? If you could just list out 2, 3 signs that they should look out for, and some things they could take care of themselves, and at what point they should contact the specialist.
Right. So as I mentioned, these 3 aspects that I said, right?
Right.
Eat right and be physically active and sleep well. Now, all these 3 needs to be taken care. Okay. Now, first and foremost, it's important to be sensible about going ahead and doing this. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk. I will talk more on the sleep, or more on the eat right and the exercise part. In fact, I do have some questions to you regarding the sleep. You're the sleep expert here. I mean, everybody's behind a mad rush behind losing weight. Okay. Now, I keep saying that people often equate I lost weight and I become healthy. In my opinion, that's wrong. The sequence is the other way around. You became healthy as a result, you lost weight. That's the sequence that you should go by. And what do I mean by becoming healthy? You improved your metabolic parameters. Now, having we heard people say that, oh, my metabolism is so bad that even if I drink water, I gain weight, right? We hear people saying that. So metabolism is the amount of energy that the body spends by itself to sustain life. It is the heart pumping blood, or the internal cellular level oxidation and activities happening in every single cell of our body, all organs working, everything needs energy for that, right? And that forms substantial part of energy expenditure, roughly around 70 to 75% of our total energy expenditure is metabolism alone. Remaining 30-35% is our activity such as this, like I'm talking to you. It needs energy, right? Trivial, but it needs energy for that. And my exercise activity. So all activities, both exercise activity and the non-exercise activity, such as me doing, talking, moving hands, everything put together comes down to around 30-35%. So that's how the energy expenditure side of the story is. Energy input, obviously, most of us know protein, fat, carbohydrate, called the macronutrients. We get energy. Ultimately, it comes down to the balance between these two. Common sense. It's just physics. If you eat more than what you spend, the extra energy needs to be saved somewhere. It becomes mass. The person gains weight. So, ulta, if you want to lose weight, do the reverse, right? You either eat lesser than what you spend, or you spend more than what you eat. One of these two, meaning you're creating a calorie deficit, right? But then again, that's where being sensible is extremely important. When I say create a calorie deficit, don't go ahead and skip a meal and get onto a vegetable salad diet. That will actually do more harm. Your sleep will actually go for a toss. You will start losing muscles. Your metabolic parameters actually drops. And that's how people lose weight and actually looks older. Haven't we seen that? People lose weight and looks weaker, older. There are some people who actually lost weight and looks younger, right? So that's the difference there. So when I say calorie deficit, be sensible about it. Don't just go and do a crash diet. Losing weight is very simple. Everybody knows how to lose weight. Stop eating dinner, have cucumber salad, you will lose weight. But will you become healthy? Absolutely not. Yeah. So that's the thing about eating healthy part of it, right? So and be sensible with protein, fat, carb. I'm Malayali. You know that. Tell me to stop eating rice. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. Tell me to stop eating putta. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. So these are all part of our normal general eating habits. You should be able to enjoy a meal with the rest of the people at home. Coming to exercises, the same way that I said, yoga, running, gymming, Pilates, weight training, all these things are good ceteris paribus. But you need to understand, is your body capable of taking it? You can't go to a gym if you have a hernia or an umbilical hernia, or you have done an operation of inguinal hernia some 4-5 years back. Going to a gym and doing a deadlift is a very bad idea. But otherwise, deadlift is a compound lift and it's extremely helpful for improving strength of the body. Right? So be sensible with exercises. Right? So these are the things that one should go by with regards to managing these aspects. And I would say the first demonstration happens on the vitals. We often fail to recognize it. Post 30, do a routine blood check. It will take some 2,000, 3,000 rupees. We actually spend 10 times of that in our car maintenance every year. And a stitch in a time saves 9. Right? Now, so that's about these two parts. Now, in the sleep part, I will tell you stuff that I know, but I have a question for you, if that is okay.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I keep telling that, yeah, of course, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is important. And sleep is when the hormones kind of settle down, and the hormonal imbalance is your person is prone to hormonal imbalance if you don't sleep well. And that 7 to 8 hours, possibly it's better to sleep in the night rather than sleeping in the morning, because there are certain hormones, circadian rhythm, melatonin, all these things will come into play. And there is something called an HPA axis, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, adrenal axis, which actually plays a lot of regulates a lot of aspects involving sleep, metabolism, etc., gets impacted with lack of sleep. And that's precisely the reason, if you don't sleep well, next your BP levels will increase. If you don't sleep well, your cortisol levels in the body increases. You feel more bloated because cortisol absorbs and retains water. Your weight will gain. If you do not sleep well, the hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, will not will go in imbalance, and you'll feel more hungry. You'll end up eating more, and that will help you make you gain more weight. Many aspects, melatonin, many hormones come into play there. So these are the things that I know. So my question to you is that often our clients ask us that instead of sleeping 8 hours in the night, what if I sleep 4 hours in the night and 4 hours in the morning? So so I tell them that that's not enough. That's not the right way of doing it. But I would like to hear it from the horse's mouth, which is you.
Yeah. So this biphasic sleep or polyphasic sleep, that is in phases you're sleeping, is what you're asking, whether it is okay. So in terms of healing of the organs, there is a particular time of the night, irrespective of whether you're night shift, day shift, and all that. At that time is the organ repair. It's not because you're sleeping during the day, the same quality of sleep, the same healing aspect will happen. It's not going to happen, because at night, when the sun is down and it's all dark, our body, because we are made of earth, we are aligned to the earth. Whatever we are eating is from the earth. So all our body components, the building parts, are resonating with the earth, the sun, the moon, and everything. That's why we are so connected. So we know when it's night. There are experiments done when they put somebody deep in the earth, in a cave, completely cut off, in a kind of a floating bed. So there was no sensation of anything. They've measured, and still that body knew when it was night, when it was day. So it has nothing to do with light. It has nothing. So our body is connected. So it's that deep. Okay. So even if you shut out the light and try to recreate night, the body knows it's not night. So this night shift thing has been called carcinogenic by WHO. It's already termed, and I mean, organizations have to look at that. So in terms of sleep, the benefit of sleep, the healing aspect happens between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. It's so important that you are in deep sleep at that time. That's why they say 9:30, 10, 10:30, you get into bed. So within 20, 30 minutes, you're asleep. So your deep sleep hits around 11. So if your deep sleep, waves hit at that time, your organ repair happens at the right time, designed by the creator. Okay, we didn't design this. This night shift work, it's been designed 100 years ago. We were designed 5 million years ago. So it did not factor in night shift work. Okay, so we are going against nature's design and laws. So 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. is extremely critical your sleep. So suppose you want to sleep by 10:30, wake up by 3:34, and then sleep 2 hours in the afternoon or whatever, later at your convenient time, that's still okay. So just see that if you want that is, if you want to live up to 100 and beyond, your organs have to survive. Your liver has to survive. Liver has 120 years life. Each kidney has 80 years as life. So together it has 160 years. So every organ of our body has been designed for a particular life term. Okay, if you give it the proper sleep. So in terms of organ repair, this is so important. In terms of mental cleansing and repair and all that, REM sleep is extremely useful, which comes between, let's say, 2:30 to 5:30, you get most REM sleep. Because we sleep in 5 phases of 1.5 hours each, typically. So the first 3 phases is at night is when your deep sleep is most. and you'll be able to do the organ repair the most.
Yeah.
The repair and restoration. The next two things is for innovation. It's for coming up with ideas, your dreams, sorting out what all inputs you got for the day and preparing yourself to be better. I mean, you're evolving every night. It's part of evolution. If you steal those hours, you are ending up a lesser person the next day. You were 100% when you went to bed. Next day, you're 99, and then 98, and then you keep coming down. Your potential keeps dropping each time you steal sleep hours. It's that critical. Okay, I hope I answered that question. But you can sleep in phases as long as you keep this in mind. You have to understand how sleep works, and then you can play with it.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
So, was there any other question, or can we go? I have some more questions for you.
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Okay. So, for people who are concerned about their well-being and health, yes, you did say sleep, exercise, and nutrition. All three constitute 99% of the syllabus, as you rightly put. And there's only 1 or 2% outside that. So they need to focus on this and what is the right thing. And as you said earlier, the WhatsApp University, Google University, and all that throws so much of conflicting information, each one saying this or that. So what should a person who's concerned about their health and well-being do? How should they, where are the answers? How do they go about it?
So this is a very, there is a problem with science. The problem with science is that it evolves with new information, new things that we know. We thought that Earth is flat, right? Only to realize that it's wrong. We thought that Earth is at the center of the universe, only to realize it is wrong, right? So, and that's how actually the science has evolved, right? And even school, that's how we learn. We learned a law, and the next year the law that you learned earlier is right in this condition, but with these new conditions, that law is no longer valid, and hence the new law. And here's the new law. That's how we learn. And that's true even for any science, in fact, even medical science. The modern medical science has not understood the entire human body and how it works and everything to its entirety. We haven't understood that, right? So with that in the background, health and well-being, especially fitness and nutrition and everything, is like these days it has kind of become like a religion. Okay, there are like how we have religious zealots. We also have fitness zealots. I did keto, I lost weight, so keto is the best. I did IF and I got amazing results, so IF is the best, and that's what the problem is, What suits you? I'm happy that it suited that person, but please never ever think that would suit everybody else. It will not. Classic example, if keto suited a person, yes, of course, keto has certain benefits. Keto does have certain things that will do to your body in a good manner, but keto also has a lot of other major serious risk parameters which needs to be taken. We know about this actress, I think 2 years back, what her name again? She had a kidney disorder, did keto and passed away, right? So keto can be extremely hard on kidney, high protein and high fat, can be hard on the liver, depending upon what conditions are. Right? Fasting, fine, but if you are chronic diabetic, don't go out and then do that kind of a diet. You will go severely hypoglycemic, and hypoglycemia can actually cause an immediate problem and needs to be addressed. Fasting can also cause gastric issues, peptic ulcers, acidity, GERD, all these issues can happen, right? So there is no one size fits all. It's important to understand that first. And that's true for diet, that's true for exercises. And these are the two things that primarily needs to be. So don't go ahead, try something just because it worked for someone else. You need to understand your body. That's where experts are there to help you regarding that. And I am absolutely against demonizing one kind of a food, saying carbs are bad or protein is the best. Protein, fine, it's helpful to increase the satiety. Because your satiety is higher, you won't overeat and hence you may end up losing weight. All that's true. But if there is a uric acid or a gout issue, will you load up protein? No. If there is a kidney disorder, if your creatinine level is above 1.4 or 1.5, absolutely not. Don't just load up protein. It's going to cause an immense pressure and load on the kidney, right? So be sensible with regards to exercise. Now, fat, excessive fat, if the person is having gallbladder stone, polylithiasis in the USG abdomen scan, irritant like that. If there is a gallbladder stones, don't just go down, load up fat. Never ever do a keto diet if there is a chance of a small gallbladder stones. Same way, right? So every single nutrient, so there is no one size fits all, and there is nothing which is too good to be true. This is actually true for even exercises also, right? Cardiovascular exercises are good for heart. But does it mean if a person is having a congenital heart disorder or a person is having a particular heart condition, should he go and start running because cardiovascular exercise is good for heart? No, right? You need to apply some common sense there. Doing cardio improves heart health. But if there is a heart condition, please don't do cardio. You need to take an expert advice doing that. And that's common sense is something that we need to apply. Sadly, that I don't know if we should rename it as uncommon sense. So that's extremely important. That similarly, weight training, in my opinion, everybody should do it if that your medical conditions permit you to do that, because we human beings are meant to lift weight. Our ancestors, I remember my granny taking water from the well, right, through the pulley. Today I go to the gym and I do the same thing using seated cable rope, right? I remember the tenga, the coconut chutney, sambandhi that she used to make with that the grinding stone, right? It's exercise for the shoulders and the biceps. So all these activities and exercises were part of our daily routine some 300 years back. We never thought of it as an exercise. It was part of our daily routine and daily survival. Today, that's not the case. Now, all wonderful women who are listening to this, I've heard people say that I'm doing home-based work, home work. So is that not exercise? We love you for doing that. And we love you for taking care of all those things. But please do not equate the work that you do in kitchen to physical activity. It's not. If it was 100 years back, I may agree. But it's not so much. So you need to go lift weights if you don't have any of these medical conditions, no piles, no hernia, no, these kind of things. Go do that. And similarly, yoga, amazing to. For you mentioned about autoimmune disorders. Yoga is extremely helpful for the alignment of energy across the 7 chakras. It improves flexibility. It reduces the stress and strain on certain muscle groups, making us less prone towards injury and joint related issues. So all these aspects come with yoga. So if you're looking at a true blue, healthy, fit life, it's sensible to combine all sorts of exercises, right? But if your medical conditions allow you to do so, if there is an IVDP, intervertebral disc prolapse, don't go ahead and do crunches to lose belly fat, right? So if there is an arthritic knee, if you have rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis, don't run a marathon, right? So the same way. So that's about this. These are the things gradually a person wants to become healthy and fit. And remember, all good things in life takes time. Right? And becoming healthy, becoming fit is also not any different. It requires 3 ingredients: eat right, build a healthy relationship with food, be physically active. And walking is great, but don't equate walking to an exercise. If you can do a lot more than walking, you are actually it's cognitive dissonance. You're doing walking and you're making yourself feel that you've done an exercise. Walking is not an exercise. Walking is great. I'm not saying it's bad. It's an activity though. Do exercises. And 30 minutes of exercises every day is enough, right? 150 hours in a week, 150 minutes in a week is a good start. Can go up to 300, 350, depending upon multiple different experts. And then sleep. That sleep is the third magic pillar which has to come in, because as I said, sleep regulates the hormones. You can eat healthy, you can be physically active, but the 7 to 8 hours of sleep is not happening in place, then everything just crumbles. It's like building a house. You need the cement, you need the bricks, you need the sand, right? All these 3 together is what forms a strong structure. And all these 3 needs to set in place. With sand and brick, you can't build a house, right? The cement needs to be there. So sleep is the cement, which kind of cements everything together and helps to make that structure strong and bigger.
Beautifully said. On World Sleep Day, that sleep is a cement which holds everything together. Yeah, perfectly said. So, in a nutshell, what I'm understanding is you need a balance of all three. I mean, what is it that needs to be done? What's the message for others is don't try fancy diets, don't follow the herd, try and see what your ancestors have done. If you can, the food type largely lives within that, you're going to be safe because it's been done for hundreds of years. And since we don't have those type of activities they had, we need to replace it with doing some workout in the gym, some weight training, cardio training, and all of that, so that we expand our heart and we expand our muscles and make ourselves stronger, fitter, all of that. Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much for your time today. I think we're kind of almost at 40 minutes now. And so if there is any question you have to ask? And
yeah, so I actually do have a one last question. In fact, I would be sharing this video with your permission to my audience also.
Please do.
The question that I want to ask is that there are a lot of people who are not able to sleep or have insomnia related issues. And to them, how do they overcome it? I tell them that if you sleep well, if you eat right, structure your calories, if you exercise, that will improve. And we've seen that improving. But what more can be done? What are the things which can be done to improve the sleep? That's one question. Secondly, how can they reach out to you if they need any sort of help or your consultations, and what do you do for them?
Right. I'll see if I can put a slide towards the end so they'll be able to reach out through the slide. I'll add a slide and cut the video so that it's easier for them to do. And you can just say Deep Sleep Academy. You can just Google, which is what I'm going to do for NuvoVivo, Rajiv, Ambat. It's very easy to, you just Google it and you'll find him because you're pretty visible on the net. So that should be, so I'll give you the slide. So that's not a problem. Now, in terms of what should they do to overcome insomnia or any sleep difficulty that they're having. So if they're having difficulty sleeping, it starts with light. Okay, if 1 hour before, you can make sure that you either in darkness or you're watching the sky, or yellow light, that's fine. But the tube lights, the white lights, they're a killer because blue light prevents the production of melatonin. So light is a trigger. The lack of light helps melatonin production. So that is number one. Two is temperature. Your core body temperature needs to drop a few degrees for melatonin production again. So if you have a warm shower 1.5 hours earlier, that kind of helps. Some people have, warm milk with turmeric or whatever, different. We have a lot of homemade recipes like that, which helps you to cool down a bit. So if that is done, because that also has tryptophan, that one of those enzymes which cause the production of melatonin. Tryptophan, I think that enzyme is called. So you could look at first light, then it's temperature. Third is sensorial inputs. So if you're having very high sensorial inputs, for example, this is a killer. Okay, this fellow is the enemy of sleep. So 1 hour before sleep, this guy has to go off. If he doesn't go off, you're going to be always instigated. There'll be some message there, something which triggers you. So your mind is always working. Plus, the display itself has blue light. Even though you have devices which reduces the blue light, but still that light is a disturbance. So melatonin production won't happen. Second, the messages in them could trigger your mind to go hyper, and that's not going to allow you to sleep. So your mind will come into play and prevent you to sleep. So device, you have to have a device diet. 1 hour before, you should get off devices. So that is, these three are the most crucial things. If they do that, they should get the sleep. Fourth and fifth is regularity. Our body is a creature of habit. So if every day you go to bed at 9:30, 10, by the 10th day or 12th day, it will fall into line. If it knows that by 9:30 you're getting into bed, by 10 you're expecting to sleep, it'll kind of fall into place. and I'm going to wake up at 5 or 4:30 or whatever your goal is. 10 to 5 is your goal. So 9:30 you get into bed, by 10 you're asleep. By around 5 you wake up, and then you do your exercise, meditation, whatever the routine we have. So that is regularity is extremely critical. So for which we have what's called a PMR and PNR. PMR is personalized morning routine, 1 hour, personalized night routine, which is 1 hour. If these 2 hours you take charge of, the morning routine helps you take care of the day, the night routine helps you take care of the night. Because the day affects the night affects the day. They're all interlinked, as you said. So this way, that's my deep sleep formula. That's what I teach in my classes. So I help people to design a personalized morning routine and a personalized night routine, which will get them a perfect day and a perfect night. So that that's basically the way it has worked. And I find people who not slept for 20 years, can you believe it? They were able to sleep. And on the third or fourth day. So it's been amazingly rewarding, to see people, because it's a huge struggle when you don't get sleep. It's very painful. It leads right up to suicide. I mean, anxiety, depression, bipolar, suicide. That's that whole journey, which is not a good thing. So I hope that answered it.
Congratulations on the amazing work that you do. I obviously have followed stuff that you speak, and you're not just about go sleep on time and you sleep, keep the mobile away. You speak a lot more than that, and you know what you're talking about. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. And your work also, I'm glad we're going to be working together, because lack of sleep causes lifestyle diseases. And I don't get into medical fitness. That's not my area. And we complement each other beautifully. So I'm looking forward to a journey together. And let's see how we can help more and more people.
Yeah, together, let's make a difference to 1 billion plus people in the next 5 years.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, you see the company name behind, NuvoVivo, and he is Rajiv Ambat. You can see his name in that camera. So please Google him. You'll find his details. I also put a slide in this post so that you can reach out to him. And I'll share my details too. Look forward to having you all healthy and sleeping well. Happy World Sleep Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv. Bye all. Catch up again later. Bye-bye.